Hey, brothers and sisters from the StarkNet family. This is Nur Star speaking from the Star Galaxy, and I'm proud to welcome you to another episode of Shield Me Your Fundamentals, the Twitter show on the promotional and marketing environment of the StarkNet scaling ecosystem. Today's is a special episode, which was branded as a Road to Lisbon, as we have the pleasure to host one of the organizers of StarkNet CC, whose next conference will be in Lisbon at the end of the month. Therefore, I'm proud to welcome Sam, who is also the founder of Journal du Coin. Hey, Sam, how are you doing? Sam? Okay. Okay, sorry guys, I didn't grant the permission to Sam. Sorry about that. He's gonna join us in a couple of seconds. Okay.
All right. Uh,
Okay. Okay. Hey Sam, welcome. I'm sorry for this problem.
no,
I thought I'd already granted you the permission to speak.
no worries. That happens. Thank you very much for having me here. As you said, I am Sam, and I am contributing organizing StarkNet CC with folks at Only Does. And on the side, I am working on some other project. One being Journal du Coin, and the other called Node Guardians. Yeah. Thanks again for having me again.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. And in fact, as the first question and the first matter to speak about, I was going to ask you to get some info and some more information about your background, how your crypto journey started, when did you start Journal the Coin, and why, and how the concept behind the StarkNet CC was born.
Sure thing. So about my background, it's very simple. I'm a dropout med school student, so nothing like an engineer or what you would expect,
So,
or uh, I'm not a developer, that's for sure. And when I took a year off to focus on things that like on other passions and stuff that I found cool, I just decided to basically commit a year to blockchain technology. How I ended up in that space, we always have that friend that speaks regularly about Ethereum ICO, smart contracts, and what it basically enables people to do. All these thematics. I had that one friend, but I was not really paying attention to what he was saying. I think that was around 2016, in late 2016, and then Zcash had its trusted setup ceremony. So this kind of, I found that to be very interesting, and that's through that through that period of interest, let's call it this way, that I discovered actually Eddie Ben Sasson work, and that's pretty much where I started to regularly commit some of my time to cryptocurrencies, let's say. And then in 2017, I took that year off. I had also other friends around me that were sharing the same interest. I started to connect with people in my city that were into that space, and we built something that's called Journal du Coin. So Journal du Coin is like CoinDesk or Cointelegraph, let's say, but for the French-speaking world. It is not exactly the same thing. I'm just using a shortcut hit to, giving some analogy for what we're doing. We're covering what's going on in the blockchain world 7 days a week, and for a French speaking audience. So we're having now, I think, between 1 and 2 million readers a month, and we're also designing resources to break down different blockchain stacks, different concepts of blockchains, what is an AMM, on our YouTube channel too, and offering different different
Hey,
kinds of
brothers and
podcasts
sisters from the Starknet
with builders in
ecosystem.
the
This is
ecosystem.
Nurstar speaking
So
from the
that's what I've
Stark
been doing for
Galaxy,
like
and welcome
5
to
years,
another
6 years,
episode
5
of
years.
Deep Dive,
And
the
I
YouTube
think earlier
series
this
where
year I
we are
started
going to
something
talk
new called
about
Node
and use
Guardians.
the
And Node
different
Guardians
protocols
is
and
an
projects that are being
infrastructure provider.
deployed on the Starknet
Let's
scaling
say we run
solution. So
validators on our
guys,
PCs
let's dive deep on today's
on
episode.
different networks. And beyond running that, we spend most of our time designing something that's like a role-playing game to learn solidity, but to level up your game solidity, because
Here
you
we
need
are,
to have
dear
some
friends.
basics to
The
actually
topic of today
play
is
with it.
about
And we're
tracking,
trying
monitoring, and
create
analyzing
a very
Starknet
immersive
transactions
experience to
using
learn
the
and arbitrate
Starscan
programming
Block
stacks. So
Explorer
that's what
and the
we've been
Bravos wallet. In
focusing on
fact,
lately,
the
and we're
Bravos
launching our
wallet
closed beta
announced
in 1 week.
the direct integration of
When it comes to
Starscan
Starknet
in its
CC,
product.
it's a very
They
long
also
question.
published this mini tutorial
How we
thread
ended up
on how to read
starting this.
transactions directly from their
So
comfortable app. Let's
I think
follow it
that
in practice. First of
back in
all, we need to have our
December
Bravos wallet installed.
2022,
If you've not installed it yet,
I
please take a couple of
I just
minutes
got
to
back.
do so by
I
watching
was
our
in
tutorial
Korea,
on how to
and
download it
I
and
just got
creating
back
your
from
account.
we
Having
we
said
were
that,
actually in
let's go
touch
to
with
the
the
Bravos wallet extension
with the Omnidas
interface,
team.
and as the
I'm
first step,
I'm a
we'll
friend
make a
of
transaction
Greg,
example
and we're
by
thinking
using
of
the swapping
organizing
function
a
implemented on
dev-oriented
Bravos,
conference
where we are going to swap the
in Paris
equivalent
around
of $10
which
from
is
Ethereum into the DAI
a
stablecoin.
week of
While the
celebration of
transaction is
the,
ongoing,
let's say,
we can
let's call
already
it this way, the
monitor it
Web3
on
ecosystem.
Starscan by
And
clicking
if there
on
was
the double
one
ongoing
validity wallet,
arrows
one
on the
belt
top
to
bar
celebrate,
of the
that would
Bravos
be
interface. At that
Starknet, I
point,
guess.
the ongoing
Omnidas,
transaction
we're already
number will
working
appear,
on
and by
creating that
clicking it, we'll
marketplace
be
that matchmakes
redirected to Starscan, where we'll
contributors
be
with
able to
different kind
see
of
an
tasks.
overview on the
And
state and
I
on
was
the
actually sharing
details
the
of
same
our
with the
transaction.
Starknet
You
ecosystem.
can consult
So
details
what
like the
was meant to be
transaction
a
and block
small
hash, the status
scale,
roadmap,
let's say,
and the
meetup
contract
or
address, among
hackathon
many
actually
others.
ended up
Once the
being
pending
a
status gets
tool
green in the status
that
roadmap,
caters
the
to
transaction
anyone,
can be
whether you're a
considered
developer or
complete in
not,
our wallet and in the practical
lasting
sense
through a
of the
whole day.
term
I
as
think that
well.
was
But
July
then it will
22nd.
have to be
And we were
approved on the
fortunate to
L1,
have
which takes a
great
while.
sponsors,
However,
great
we can already
speakers,
see our DAI on Bravos.
great
This is
people
how you
giving
can
workshops
monitor
there.
and consult your
All
Starknet
of that
transactions
contributed
using
to a
Starscan
wonderful
and
event,
Bravos.
which
Furthermore,
actually
in the
exceeded all of our
Starscan page, there is
expectations. There
also a
were
function for
about like 400 or
developers where they
500
can
enthusiasts
verify
gathered
their
there.
Kairos smart
And
contracts. We won't
we
go
just
deep
decided
on this
to
feature
make
as it could get too much
the
technical
Starknet
and it's not the
CC,
purpose of this tutorial. But if you're a
let's
dev,
say,
I highly
conference
suggest you to have
live
a look at it in order
through
to
the
improve the
year, not only
quality of
making
your
it like
smart
a once a
contracts.
year kind of event,
So
but
guys, the
having
tutorial
that
on
brand
how to
presence
track and
all
monitor your
over the
Starknet
year, having more
transactions is
initiatives,
coming to
more
an
community
end. I strongly
organized,
suggest you
popping
to
up
give
all
a
around.
follow
So
to the
the
Starscan
next
Twitter
step of
page
Starknet
in order
CC
to be
takes us
always
to
up to date with their future
Lisbon, and I
developments.
think we're
Having
3
said
weeks
that, I'd
ahead
like to thank you so
from
much
that
for watching
conference, and
this
there's
video.
some
Please
cool stuff
like and
planned.
share
So
it with the world
yeah, that's
while
pretty much where
We're
we
subscribing
going
are.
to
to our
save,
Stark Galaxy
we are
channel
going to
where
save
you'll be
some info
cuddled
about the
with
Lisbon
regular
one
contents in the
later
Starknet
on. And
ecosystem. Thanks
yeah,
once
thank you
again and see you on the
for
next
such an
dive.
interesting
Bye!
background. I mean, you have a very interesting non-conventional background that I also share on some aspects. So that was really nice to hear. And yeah, congratulations on the job you are doing with Journal du Coin, which is actually it is one of the tools I use to learn French. So yeah, it's
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. Because French is basically the only main European language that I don't speak fluently. I passively I understand almost everything, because I speak Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese, and therefore, I mean, I understand almost everything. And but I can't speak it properly yet. But seeing that Starknet is mainly French, sometimes my wife tell me, "You need to learn some French. You need to learn some French." Stuff like that. Anyway, right now I would like to ask you for another question. I would
Mhm.
like to know that seeing that you're also a content creator, with Journal the Coin, I'd like to know from you what is your view on the Starknet's promotional and marketing landscape, and do you think projects are approaching this matter in the right way? Do you like the contents that are being produced in the space? What should be improved? And yeah, tell me your view on that,
Wow,
please.
that's a very exhaustive, a very long question. I guess that what I really like about the whole StarkNet ecosystem and the way the community is being bootstrapped is that it is very grassroots. People are coming into that ecosystem because they are most of the time interested by the technology or what the features of StarkNet enables you to do from a developing standpoint, like the possibilities you have building on StarkNet. The first reason to that is that there is kind of a big barrier at the entry, or not big barrier, I'm just like defining it this way, but in order to build on StarkNet, you need to master the Cairo language, and that can take a few days or a few weeks based on your proficiency as a programmer and across different stacks previously. And I think that the fact that you need to learn that language makes it that the builders that come on StarkNet have a higher level of commitment on average than on maybe another validity rollup, ZK rollup, you name it. So I think this is very cool. And what I've noticed is that most of the people that actually compose that community are very, let's say, there's some kind of solidarity. They're helping each other. There is some good mutual help kind of spirit going on there. So it's all good. I don't know if you asked me to share my opinion on what I think of Starkware's marketing policy. I'm not sure I understood the question properly. Could you please repeat it?
No, well, I meant only on a general way. I didn't mean
Yes.
in specific the Starkware strategy, promotional strategy. Only like the promotional environment in terms of the projects. The contents that the projects deploying on Starknet are creating, are producing, and their kind of marketing approach. And obviously, we're still at an early stage, so there's still a lot to do, a lot to see, and obviously, it's not easy to pitch a product when the product is not fully operational. And also, when the blockchain itself, the scaling solution itself, cannot be used at 100% operational in terms of operability. Therefore, it's still early to talk too much about that, but I just wanted to have a view on the overall promotional landscape of Starknet.
Oh yeah, I think that there is some innovation going on StarkNet, not only from a feature standpoint with what an account abstraction enables you to do, etc., but also in the way projects are marketing their product and growing their communities. Some are fully community-owned kind of protocol. I think Jedi Swap has a governance model, a contribution model that is not so common and very inclusive. You have different launch pads that are also popping up on StarkNet with some new reputation features that are also rather interesting to enable a fairer distribution of tickets, like the lottery designs and everything, what Australia is working on, for instance. I think Brick also did a test distribution very recently through the Australia platform Launchpad. So yeah, we're seeing some innovation here and there, and I think that this is a good thing. I wouldn't say, to be very objective, that it is revolutionary at this stage, but there's some very cool stuff happening, and that also happens on. We also see some cool stuff happening on rollups, like other rollups like Quest and everything. So yeah, very exciting things happening, definitely. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Thanks a lot for sharing your view on that. Right now, I would like to know a bit. Also, you kind of answered partially this question earlier during the first answer, but I would like to know a little bit how it feels organizing a conference feels like. How was like organizing the one in Paris, and how it is like preparing the one in Lisbon. Is it a fun process? Tell me a bit about that.
Um, I
Very
think
busy process, I mean as well.
the funniest part and the best part is when the day actually comes and everything goes without hiccup. So I think that's that's where most of the good comes. So as you know, I am French, so I had it easier organizing a conference in Paris from a logistical standpoint, communication standpoint, finding the right partners, having also help from the community, different amazing volunteers coming to help us, ensuring that the conference goes well and everything. So organizing the conference in Paris was an easier challenge than doing that one in Lisbon. Also, it was a conference that lasted on one day, so that was very cool. And we actually did a benchmark to find a venue that actually has a lot of amenities and high level of infrastructure, so that we can focus on the content side of things, and we don't have to bother about, do we need to bring like some kind of
Sure.
Wi-Fi, like specialist with like 1
Router,
gigabyte
yeah.
of bandwidth, etc., to distribute signal to everyone. Same thing with catering.
Sure.
It had a very great infrastructure already set up, so that allowed us to focus on other aspects. So when it comes to
That's
Lisbon,
nice.
we're not playing at home, so it is making the thing a bit more challenging, but nothing that terrible. We managed to find a great venue, but it's a venue with a different, a different look, with different features, with different advantages, I guess, compared to the one in Paris. So we have to compose differently. Also, you have to take into account that the event is actually lasting 2 days. And so because of that, it is a different challenge, because instead of planning stuff for one day, you have to do it for 2 days. And the event is meant to happen without interruption. So there should be also some kind of accommodation, some kind of furnitures to make the venue welcoming on the evening, etc., for people willing to hack at night. You have to think of content on 2 days across different stages. You have to make sure that the event is fun for everyone through both days. You have to think also of something else. It is not the summer in Paris whatsoever. It is November in Lisbon. And so there is maybe like 20%, 25% chance that it is raining, etc. So you have to make sure that your plans are not compromised by any weather incident that can happen. So I would say it's more difficult to organize it in Lisbon, and organizing it on 2 days is most difficult. It is a process also when it comes to coordination. That's not like that's not always easy. You have to reach out to different people, making sure that the time slot that you offer matches with their respective timetables. You have to make sure that people want to, can show up, are interested by that very specific topic. You have to also think about thinking of all these things is also rather challenging. But at the end of the day, it is still a very fun experience to organize, and the best is that the best comes once the whole event is actually over. That's, I think, the best moment. But
Yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah, I can understand it could be very challenging planning an event also from a remote, because maybe you're in France now and you're basically just in contact remotely. You can show up at the venue to have a look at it, this kind of stuff. So it can be very challenging. And then yeah, you have to take into account many things such as the weather, because it's pretty rain in this period of the time in Portugal in general, and also it is a different time zone, and there will also, as I told you privately, there's also the change of the time, from solar to legal, or the other way around. I don't remember. So on the 31st of October, and so yeah, I can imagine it's pretty challenging, but I have no doubts you'll manage to make an amazing and unforgettable event. And I'm really hyped. This is my first StarkNet conference, and actually my first crypto conference overall
that's
in
amazing.
real life. So I really look forward to it. Yeah. I'm really, really hyped because due to COVID and other stuff, I couldn't come. I couldn't attend any conferences before, so I'm really hyped.
Where are you originally from?
Yeah, I'm from Italy. and
Okay.
then maybe in person I'll tell you more details. And I'm based in Italy, and yeah, for different reasons I didn't have the chance to attend a crypto conference in real life yet, so I'm really looking forward to it. However, coming to the "Show Me Your Fundamentals" moment, I'd like to tell us some convincing reasons on why we should attend a StarkNet CC in general, and
Mm-hmm.
whether it is the upcoming one in Lisbon or the next one. And if we, for example, if we were undecided about two conferences happening at the same time, why should we choose the StarkNet CC over the other option? Obviously, a brief,
Okay.
a brief phrase, a brief slogan.
Okay, as succinctly as possible. I think that it would be nice to consider coming as StarkNet CC because I am not a professional event organizer. I know that's not very intuitive to hear that, but we are not making events driven by the will to actually generate money. We're actually trying to make an event that takes the ecosystem forward and trying to make an event that speaks to everyone. So whether you're a dev or non-dev, we're trying to put ourselves at your place and making sure that you always find a workshop or a talk that is fun to watch, fun to enjoy, no matter what's your how tech savvy you are. So I think that's the first point, the exhaustivity of content you find on StarkNet. The second thing is that, yeah, as I said, we're not designing the event to milk money out of you and to be extremely profitable. Our focus is to ensure that it is actually not being organized at a loss, and that everyone is well accommodated. Everyone gets a chance to, to access the event. So I think that the tickets also are reasonably priced, and yeah, I think that's what makes Darknet CC very unique. It's scale. You can network, hack. You can go on the tech stage or on the main stage, enjoy some content that matches with your interests. What else? There are also some fun activities that I can share more about that later that we're planning. We also have some kind of hacker house. So there is a big diversity of events. I don't know what's happening concurrently in Lisbon, as a lot of the interests have shifted towards Bogota for this month of October. But when it comes to Lisbon, I think that you should definitely consider a visit at StarkNet CC if you want to learn more about StarkNet and validity rollups in general, but StarkNet in particular. And right after there is Solana Breakpoint. But I think that this is a totally different kind of community that attends that event. But this community is also much welcome, whether you're a Bitcoiner or someone who's more into app chains, Cosmos, everything. You're more than welcome. We're really trying to think the conference as a good point of gathering for the builders, for the enthusiasts, but also a place that is still relevant for people that come from other ecosystems to learn more about what's actually going on in the space. So that's pretty much how I would defend what we are organizing. I mean, shield what we're organizing. I think that's the right word, shield. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really convincing shilling. Yeah, I really like that. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And remaining in the topic of the conference, would you mind telling us some hints on the program, guest party, especially party, uh, something like that, or
Oh,
you can't?
I forget some stuff I forgot about the party, the capture the flag. So
Yeah, you
there
can
are a lot
tell
of cool
that
stuff.
now.
Yeah. So the signature kind of thing you have at StarkNet CC is that there's always a party to wrap up the event, and so there's also some kind of moment that's dedicated to really chilling out, drinking, and meeting new people. I think that's a very important thing to organize. And you asked me what can we expect in the conference in terms of speakers, talk, etc. So first of all, if you haven't made your decision to join us as as a visitor, just know also that it is possible to join the event as a speaker, as a workshop, if you are building on StarkNet or you're building something that could be relevant in general to anyone who's building on StarkNet, tooling, whatsoever, please feel free to apply to speak or give a workshop on our website, www.starknet.cc. We're actually closing the application section, I think, tomorrow, because we need to be able to publish a full schedule by next week. So yeah, if you have, if you're actually willing to participate to the conference as a speaker, or through a workshop, feel free to apply. When it comes to who is going to speak, who is going to attend, I'm still a bit secret. I'm not sharing that much around that, but maybe we could expect a panel with you on it. Maybe we would have Uri coming. I don't know. Maybe we would have, actually, I'm saying maybe, but we already announced these speakers. We would have some folks from Starkware, some folks from different, different projects in the ecosystem, whether like it could be some people from Ledger, from Argent, from different DeFi protocols also. So a lot of exciting stuff planned up when it comes to the content side of things. You should also expect some workshops, some more about storage proofs, some more workshops by Nethermind, some more, let's say, insights on, building safer contracts on Cairo, formal verification, Paradise. We have different contributors lined up, different builders lined up to give some interesting workshops if you're a developer willing to sharpen your Cairo skills. Maybe we're gonna hear more about Cairo 1.0 and its features, the regenesis that's coming in a few months. Maybe there could be some big announcement done. I don't know. No, here I'm a bit borderline when it comes to shilling, but we could hear some cool stuff about where Cairo is headed next from a technical standpoint, and what is coming up for Starknet, the mainnet, and all that.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks a lot for.
I forget that thing. But there's the big capture the flag, and that's
yeah, that's right. The game, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Also, chess game, right? As well.
There should be a chess tournament. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's nice. And for the guys, for the folks listening, you heard it right. There could be the possibility, it's not for sure yet, but there could be the possibility of a Shield Me Your Fundamentals special edition, Lisbon special edition, where I will hold a panel with some interesting guests. However, it's not for sure yet, but it could be quite possible. So this is another reason why you should come to Lisbon and join us. And seeing that you must have a very busy schedule, I would just like to close the podcast, the Twitter show, with a small consideration about the overall crypto and Starknet scene in France. Seeing that you must be a really knowledgeable connoisseur of the space in France. So why is there such a hype on Starknet in France?
It's because Louis is French, I guess. No, and Abdel, right?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Henry as well. Yeah.
Henry as well. So I think that they play their role when it comes to bootstrapping the community in France. In general, France is the cradle of a lot of talented people. Like there's probably 65 million, 70 million people in France, but somehow, there are a lot of builders coming from France, a lot of good engineering schools, a lot of good universities that are churning, bringing out a lot of great engineers. And I think that why we are seeing that kind of interest rising among these French developers for the whole Starknet ecosystem, because there are also some great community people, some great educators. I'm not going to speak about myself. We've been talking about that for 2 years, but there are a lot of other, community people that have been breaking down that stack. A lot of advocates like Henry that have been, evangelizing. I don't know if that's a word in English. The different people across different meetups, and overall, I think that the interest in the French community for any scaling solution on Ethereum is rather strong. So you have its CC, which is one of the biggest gathering of the Ethereum community. And I think that Starkware has been present and communicating across these different conferences from like since 2020, maybe 2021. People have been hearing about these solutions at an early stage. We have the chance to have these gatherings in Paris, these meetups, and because we have that low-level kind of presence through different offline initiatives, it is easier for a solution like Starkware to gain traction maybe in France versus another country in Europe. I could be wrong, but yeah, that's why you have more Cairo devs per capita in France than in any neighboring countries, I believe.
Cool. Yeah, that's very curious and very nice to see how like Starknet is very popular among the French-speaking folks. Maybe also like in Africa, in African countries where French is spoken. And guys, we are coming to the end of the episode. I would like to say a couple of things. The first one is that I'm going to take a break from the Twitter show, the Show Me Your Fundamentals, because I will be traveling in Portugal before the Lisbon conference. And yeah, maybe there will be in real life episode during the conference. And however, we'll see each other for the Twitter Spaces at the beginning of November. Having said that, I would like to thank Sam for being here today, for coming, and all the listeners who took some of their precious time to be here with us today. Thanks a lot, Sam.
Thank you, North Star. Thanks everyone.
See you.
I hope to see as many of you in Lisbon.
Exactly.
And if you're a student and you really like tight on budget and everything, and you really want to attend to learn about that ecosystem, just send me a DM. I really try to answer all of them, and I'll do my very best to accommodate you. So yeah, looking forward to see you guys in Lisbon. Take care all. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Até a Lisboa. I think it should say like that. Até, see you in Lisbon, guys. Bye. Bye bye.
See you.